Get the breath moving. Afternoon, mid-afternoon, wake up. Releasing for the new moon. So when we release, we're making space to bring in, because at the new moon we also plant seeds. So think about your inhales and exhales. Just smooth them out at first. Now we're going to observe, because we're nice and upright. It's a good opportunity to observe. One hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Exhale. And then slowly inhale. Hello. Glad to see you. You must be feeling better. And slowly exhale. So we're just following the breath as it comes in through the nose, past the heart, to the belly. And then as you exhale, it goes up past the heart and out through the nose. And let's come into mountain pose for a second, okay? And remember, we want to release what is no longer serving us right now. And it never serves you to stray outside of what your body is offering you. So make sure that you're working within those boundaries that your body is telling you to do, okay? All right, so let's now inhale from our seeds of intention. Start to bring in things that you want with your palms facing out. Inhale the arms long up. And then turn your palms toward the earth and press down through center. Now we're releasing anything that does not serve. So we're going to inhale up again, bringing in what we want. And exhaling anything that does not serve. And just do that 2 more times. You can even close your eyes so you can visualize what it is that you're bringing in and what it is that you're letting go of. And then come back to standing. And by the way, that was a nice opening for the shoulders as well. Let's keep going with the shoulders for just a moment here. So allow your knees and hips to just be natural, but your spine long, and roll your shoulders forward, back, and down. Forward, back, and down with long arms, just releasing. And then come back to center and reverse that motion of the shoulders. Back up and forward. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead now and completely wake up the spine. Knees, hips, soft, hands to the thighs. Exhale, gaze towards your lap. Inhale, draw your arms up and back. Oh, more shoulder release. Exhale, hands to the thighs. Inhale, arms up and back. Remember, we are looking for what our body is telling us here. Okay? How far open should the shoulders be going right now? Open and close, taking the spine forward and back. And the next time your hands are on your thighs, just hold here and slowly roll up back to standing. Inhale and exhale. So we're going to start knocking on the door of life. So go ahead and take your feet slightly wider than hip-width distance. Knees and hips are still soft. And we go side to side, tapping behind so you can feel it. Okay? We're not making ourselves black and blue, but we can feel it. And we are tapping on the door of life, opening up great energy, life force here. Now we're going to start to take the arms up a little more, twisting side to side, mindful of what the body is telling you. Now your arms are about shoulder height. Make a gentle fist, and as you come side to side, let your left hand come to right under your shoulder, your clavicle here, and side to side. We are tapping now for immunity. Yes, tapping side to side. And now we're going to let the arms come long, swaying side to side, drawing the arms up. Ooh, little midday yoga party here. Here we come, back to shoulder height, back to immunity tapping. And back to tapping on the door of life. And 3, and 2, and bring it center. Okay, so that was our twisting motion of the spine. Now we're going to do dragon swimming through the river for our side to side. So take your legs wider than hip width distance with the toes turned out. The knees will be bent. We want them to go over the toes here, hands to the heart. And take both hands to the right. Feel that extension in the left. Come through center. Take both hands to the left. Now hands right and look to your left. Come through center, hands left, look to your right. And then take this to some form of movement that feels great to you. So how is your dragon happiest swimming through the water today? We started with our hands to the right, so the next time you come to the right, just stay here and turn your gaze as much as possible to the left. And then very slowly, as your gaze comes through center, hands come through center, take it over to the left, gaze to the right, and then come back to center. We're going to lift the fingertips up to the sky and step together as you bring your arms down. All right, great. Shake it out. Whew. Inhale and exhale. So let's take a moment here to just see how the breath is moving now. Hopefully everything's feeling a little alive. All right. Denise, do you have a block handy? 2 blocks by any chance, or 1? 1. Okay. All right. Let's keep the block handy right now because we're going to use it in child's pose. So let's come to the top of the mat here. And, actually, I wanted to do some standing core work. So we have the feet hip width distance apart. We're going to start by bringing the arms up, palms together, hands to heart, lift your right heel. Release, arms up, palms together, hands to heart, lift your left heel. You can stay right like that, or you can start to lift the knee. It's a combination of balance and core. Right knee, left knee, yeah, just like that. Right knee, left knee. And just take this at your own pace for a moment. So this is actually some nice standing core work that calls in our balance as well. All right, after your next left knee, come back to standing. So that was nice and fluid, right? We moved in and out at kind of a rapid pace. Now we're going to take the right knee up and just stay there. So remember to fix your gaze, keep your supporting legs straight and long, and come up. You could be doing heel or knee here. Yep, when you fall in and out, that means your body is learning something. Release. Okay, other side, heel or knee. and release. Okay, now we're going to take that to an oblique. So take your arms out to the side here. Okay, now let's start down here. We're going to lift the arms and lift the knee, or lift the right knee or the heel. Turn toward the right. Come center and down. Lift the arms, lift the left knee or heel. Turn toward the left. Come center and down. It's up on the right. Twist. Center and down. Up on the left. Twist. Center and down. Up right. Twist. Center and down. Up left. Twist. Center and down. We're going to take it up and to the right, and we're going to stay here. If you fall in and out, that's great too. Fix your gaze. Center and release. Other side, up, twist. Center and release. Shake it out. All right. If you had a side that feels less stable than the other side, congratulations, you're human. You're going to work that side a little more now. So it's either going to be up and hold, or you could come into your twist and hold on the side that gave you more trouble. Okay? So I was more wobbly with this knee up, so that would be the side I'm going to work. If you feel, just play with that for a minute. If you feel even, I'll tell you when 30 seconds is up, and you'll work on your other leg. Does that make sense? So play with your balance for the next 60 seconds. That doesn't mean you have to stay in one place for 60 whole seconds. You certainly could if that worked for you, but you can come in and out, go straight up or go side to side. And if you want to work your other side, do that now. Getting ready to finish in 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, come back to mountain pose. Whew, let's come to the top of the mat now. And breathe. We float the arms up. Inhale, swan dive from the hip creases. And don't worry about how far down the hands come. You might be up this high. You might be touching the mat already. Anywhere in between. Bring your hands to your thighs, hips back. Shine your heart forward. Sit your hips down with a long spine. Bring your hands down and step back to downward facing dog. Okay, and let's go ahead and walk the dog now. So your dog, you can have your hands on a table or the wall. You can always come to hands and knees if that suits you better. All right, let's come back to center in this dog and get the knees to the mat, focusing on getting them at the same time. Sit off to the side and take your legs forward. Flex your feet. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale and exhale. And shake the legs out. Okay, so we're going to do a little hip opener here. And we're going to do rock the baby. It's something you can do if you're seated on the floor or if you're seated in a chair, but always make sure you've done some warm-up before you start moving into deep hip openers. Bend your right knee. Your left leg is long, foot is flexed, right foot in the left hand, right leg is being held by the right hand, okay? And we're going to take the leg side to side, opening that hip. We're not trying to rock the torso side to side. We want the torso to stay straight forward. Just bring that leg side to side. Yes, that looks great. Now take your right ankle above your left knee. Make sure your right foot is flexed. Support yourself with your hands and just draw your left foot in till it just touches the mat, and let the right leg go side to side, once again keeping the torso forward. This is probably a familiar move to all of you, okay, because we've done this. But if it's your first time, then just notice how things feel and enjoy it. Now let your right foot come all the way over to the right. Left. Yeah, your left, that right. See what just happened with your hip. If your hip is lifted off the mat and won't go back down, move your right foot to in front of your left shin so your hips can be even on the mat. Okay? This is a pose, but we don't want the pose to be with the hip lifted. Okay? Everybody got their two hips on the mat. Yes? Left hand to the right shin, right arm up and back. Right hand is by your hip with a nice long spine. Inhale and take a gentle twist. We're not using the left hand. You can even just take it off your leg. Just do a gentle twist to the right. Hold here. Put a little more length in your spine and take your gaze toward your right shoulder. On your exhale, take your gaze to the left. And on your next exhale, take your gaze back to the right. And release to center. Take both legs straight and give them a nice little shake. All right. So this is rock the baby. So let's go ahead and we're taking the left foot in the right hand. And we're holding on to the left leg. Keep the torso forward. And take the left leg side to side, opening that hip. Pay attention to how this hip feels. And now we're going to take that left ankle above the right knee. Keep that left foot flexed and draw that right foot in just until it comes to the floor. If it doesn't even come all the way to the floor, that's okay too. Just leave your heel down, toes up, and take your left leg side to side. Remember, there's a place for everybody in yoga, and your body is helping you to find where your place is right at this moment in time. Okay, take your left foot all the way over to the right. The right hand's on the left shin. What are we looking for with these hips? We want to see if the hip is raised. If it is, and we can't get it down without hunching over, let's take that left foot forward. Okay, and take the left arm up and back. Inhale, twisting from the waist. Don't even use your right hand. We don't care how far we twist. We just want to go into a natural twist. Lengthen the spine as you inhale, and as you exhale, gaze towards your left shoulder. And then turn your gaze to the right. And on your next exhale, turn your gaze back to the left. Come back to center and take both legs straight. Shake them out. All right, let's lay back and continue with a little bit more hip work here. We're going to take the right ankle across the left thigh with the right foot flexed and draw that right shin in. Okay? And then let that hip move around so you can take your legs in a circle, one direction and the other. You can take them side to side. And then release, switch sides. Take your left ankle across your right thigh. Flex your left foot, hold your left shin in. Okay, here's something we talked about the other day. If your knee is coming close to your face, put your left hand on your left knee and press it away from you, and then start to do your movements. Okay, we don't want the knee coming in toward the face so much. All right, release, unwind, put 2 feet on the mat, and open and close the knees like little butterfly wings here. Now raise one leg if you had one side that felt a little more sticky than the other. Okay, so if that's you, then go ahead and work on your stickier side. If that wasn't you, you feel fine, or both sides feel equally, in need, then go ahead and switch halfway. So we're going to come into the figure 4. We're going to move around in circles side to side, starting on one side. The stickier side if you had one. And then if you're switching sides, go ahead and take your other ankle across. Remember to keep your foot flexed and your knee coming away from the face rather than into the face. All right, and now we release, unwind, 2 feet to the mat, open and close the knees a couple more times, and come to hands and knees. So tabletop, if you like to have extra padding, please make sure you take a moment and give your body some extra padding. We're going to be setting ourselves up here for a knee down plank. Arms are way forward. We're in knee down plank. And remember, when we go into our push-up, the elbows come back. Then we press back up and hips toward the heels. Now there's a whole lot of places in between that you could be going. You could be just standing up and just taking your arms back and forth, and maybe your hips down and up. Let me show it standing. Oh, this feels actually delightful. We'll all have to do this one day. But that's something you could do if this hands and knees thing is not serving you well right now. Remember, you're always looking for your edge. All right, and remember I mentioned the block. So if you have a block nearby, go ahead and when you come back for your child's pose, put the block under your forehead. Okay? Even if your forehead comfortably comes to the mat all the time, 100% of the time, just put the block under your forehead. Just try something different for a time or two. Bring your hands to your feet. So maybe your fingers just point to your feet. Maybe you actually have your fingers wrapped around your feet. Doesn't matter which one. Take another breath here, and then float your way into downward facing dog. Okay, that block is still going to be right where it is. That's fine. Inhale and exhale in your downward facing dog. All right, now we're going to start to walk the feet to the hands, taking the legs wider till they're mat width distance. And you come to the top of your mat. Now grab your block in between two hands. Bring your forearms to your thighs. So we're in like a chair squat position with the block in between the hands. Okay? And as you start to lift up, take your arms long, forward, 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 and overhead. Keeping that block in between your hands, and we're going to come back down. Arms stay long, hips and knees bend, just to shoulder height with the arms, and come up. And take it down, shoulder height, chair squat, arms overhead. All right, we're going to take it down, and now just keep sitting the hips down as much as you can until you either place the block down or drop it. Doesn't matter which one. Bring your hands together, stand straight up, lift your fingertips toward the sky, and as you bring your arms down, bring your feet together. Inhale and exhale. Did anybody else find that challenging for the legs? No? I'm the only one? Okay. All right. Come to the top of your mat. We're going to do a nice little sun salutation. Okay? I want you to do your sun salutation your way. So remember, you can use your knees more. You can use tables, walls. Feet are hip-width distance apart. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive over your hip creases. Half lift, set the hips down, hands down, step back with the right leg. Come into this lunge and just be happy in your lunge. Inhale and exhale. And then find your way to a plank. You might be going knees up. You might be knees down. Chaturanga with a triceps push down. Okay, so the elbows are going back. And now we're going to lift into a gentle cobra. Heart shines forward. Don't let the head jerk up. Just roll the shoulders toward the ears, down the spine. As the heart lifts, the head will follow. Release. And find your way to down dog, which can always be a table, can always be at a wall. Inhale and exhale. Let's take that right leg up to hip height. Flex the right foot and tap the right toes down and up. Now keep the right leg up. Step forward with the right foot as big as works for you right now. And then walk the rest of the way to the top of your mat. Hands to the thighs, half lift. Forward fold, long spine, folding over the hip creases. And keeping the lower half of the body still. Float the arms out and up as your palms touch. And your hands come heart center. And release. All right, we're going to do that on the left. Any questions? That was fairly straightforward, right? Okay, so remember to take it your way. There's so many beautiful ways to do this. Float the arms up, inhale. Exhale, fold over your hip creases. Take it down. Hands to the thighs, half lift. Setting the hips down, down, down. Spine is long, hands are down. Left leg comes back. Enjoy that lunge. Take it into your plank. Knees up or down. And remember, elbows back, chaturanga. All right, so let's do something fun with this back bend that we now are moving into. Let's do a Sphinx. Elbows under the shoulders, forearms to the mat, palms face down. Okay, and then we're going to shine the heart forward and let the head look, the gaze look straight ahead, just like a Sphinx. And release. Make a pillow with your hands, bend your knees, and let your legs go side to side. Nice little spinal release here. The legs come down. Find your way to downward facing dog. Okay, you could be up in dog, you could be at the wall, you could be table. Left leg up, flex the left foot, tap down and up, tap down and up, down and up, down, hold it up. Take a big step forward with your left foot and find the rest of your way to the top of your mat. Great, when you get there, half lift, forward fold, remember hip creases, and float the arms out and up, palms touch, and hands come heart center, and release. Inhale and exhale. All right. We're going to go wide legs here, toes out, hands to hips, knees over toes. Just down and up in our pliés. The hips are going straight down. Knees are staying over the toes here. Inhale and exhale. Let's take it 5-pointed star and coming into moonflower, elbows to waist. 5-pointed star, moonflower. Just take it slowly enough so you can feel everything that goes on in that transition. Yeah, wow, looking great, looking great. And the next time you come into 5-pointed star, stay there. Now we're going to do a sunburst. Okay, so rather than folding forward, we're just going to bend the knees, cross the right arm in front of the left, and burst open with sunlight. And then bend the knees, left arm in front of right, sunburst. And keep going in that nice, beautiful release. We started with the right arm crossing in front. So the next time your left arm crosses in front, whenever that comes around for you, you'll be even. Find your feet back side by side. Find yourself back in mountain pose. Okay, now we're just going to start to prepare ourselves for coming down. So just go ahead and freestyle for a minute. See what you need to do. Shake, wiggle, shake, rattle, and roll. Sing if you want to. I know some of you like to sing. Okay? And do whatever feels like it needs to be done. And then gather what you want for your final relaxation. Since we used the blocks earlier, we'll go ahead and do a little Viparita Karani. Okay, this is going to be legs up the wall. Now, we will have the block underneath us, but if you have high blood pressure or any eye conditions, then I'm going to suggest an alternative to keeping the legs up. So just have your block nearby if you're going to be using it for that. Come to the top of your mat in mountain pose. And even close your eyes for a moment. Feel your energy circulating. Maybe take yourself on a little trip back through where you've been so far in your practice. A little recall. And then float the arms up. Inhale, exhale, swan dive. See how the hamstrings are feeling now at the more toward the end of practice than earlier when we were at the beginning. Bring your hands to your thighs, knees bend, hips back. Take a nice half lift, just shining the heart forward without throwing the head back. Sink the hips down, hands to the mat, and find your way to a downward facing dog. This might be your dog right now. If you have a table nearby, this might be your dog. And once you get into dog, go ahead and let your hips go one way, knees the other, just wiggle around a little bit. Come back to center. Sit off to the side. Find seated mountain pose for just a moment. And then let everything release. Okay? We're going to be doing our purification spinal rock into forward fold. So go ahead and with your knees bent, feet on the mat, take yourself down. Draw your knees in, hold on to the hamstrings, and we're going to get some momentum rocking up and down the spine. Okay, now you might choose to take a gentler approach, and that also works. And then when you're ready, find your way into a forward fold. Gentle, gentle forward fold here. We're not even trying to reach anything. We're just spending a moment with ourselves, and then we go back and do it again. So it could be this vigorous rocking, using momentum to come up, or it could be gentle and slowly come up. And one more time, the next time will be the last time. And then bring it down, feet to the mat, hip width distance apart, and just hang out here. Now grab your block. If you're coming into legs up the wall, using the block, you're going to put the block under your hips. Okay, if you have any reason why you should not have a strong flow of blood to the head, just keep your feet down like this. Otherwise, maybe you take your legs up. And from here, we're going to point and flex the feet. Now, if your feet are on the mat, just lift one leg, point and flex that foot, and then lift the other leg, point and flex that foot. And then we're going to rotate the ankles one direction and the other, either one leg at a time or two legs at a time. Bring the feet back down to the mat, slide that block out from under you, and let your spine just stay in neutral, hands away from the hips. We're going to work on the wrists. The spine is in neutral. Open and close and wiggle your fingers. Rotate the wrists one direction and the other. We're just going to let the head move side to side, carefully checking in with the neck, seeing if anything is going on there. And then coming back to center. Scan your body, see where and how everything is. What other moves might need to happen for you? Do you want to spend final relaxation with your knees bent or your legs straight? Do you want your feet mat width distance apart maybe and the knees coming together? Or maybe you're lucky enough to have a chair nearby and you're resting your legs on the chair. Find your final relaxation position. Inhale through the nose and slowly exhale through the mouth. Now inhale through the nose, and one final time as you slowly exhale through the mouth, allow your body to just melt onto the earth, moving yourself into conscious relaxation. Close your eyes if that feels okay to you, and just be here for a few moments of peaceful conscious rest. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your space. Invite a deeper breath. Gently bring movement back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And on your next inhale, stretch everything long. And as you exhale, draw your knees in. Give yourself a hug. Find your way over to a side. And come on up to a nice, easy seat. As you turn your gaze to your own good heart and your bright spirit, thank and honor yourself for your practice, and we thank and honor each other for sharing this time. Namaste.